When you listen to this next recording, turn your speakers up a little bit because I have it on a speakerphone on my iPhone. A couple things to know about this conversation before you listen to this. This is LAPD Public Relations Chief of Staff. This is like the head of their public relations department, one of the sergeants there that works there. I'm talking to him about my constitutional rights. Now that the IA has not responded to my call, like to take take a year. But you know what? They have my property. They impounded my property. And that's a violation of the due process rule in the Constitution. You can't take somebody's property without due process. That's the Constitution. You know what you notice in here? He says the Constitution is irrelevant compared to state law and code. It's irrelevant. You can't compare the two. Oh no! If the state law violates the Constitution, it is void and invalid. These cops don't care about that though. They're thugs with badges. And what you notice when he says it, I tell him, "Nice, you're on tape. Thanks a lot, buddy." He goes, "It's illegal to record me, sir. Sir, are you?" He says, "A phone call, date and time, official about it. I'm going to the FBI." He obviously doesn't know the law. These guys don't even know the law. Boston versus Glick was a federal case that said they cannot, and I repeat, they cannot. Boston versus Glick, they cannot tell you that you can't record them. They're a public official in the course of their duty. The judge said you should notify if you can. The thing is, if you notify these people, they're not going to say things like that. But now I'm showing their real true intent of their mindset, basically, how they view you as a serf, a peasant, a peon. Their laws doesn't matter if they're constitutional or not. You have to adhere to them, or they force you to comply at the barrel of a gun. That's the police departments in America. That's where we're at. That's where this all comes from. The barrel of a gun. Force. George Washington said, government is not eloquent. It is not reason. Government is not reason. It's not eloquence. It is force. It is pure force. The barrel of a gun. Listen to this guy. Listen now. And the big thing I want you to know too is when he talks, notice how all he does is try to talk over me. He never wants to listen. He doesn't give a fuck what I have to say. They don't care about what you have to say. We are subservient to them in their minds. They have more rights than you do. They are super constitutional, above the law. Check it out, guys. I think it'll be quite revealing how they think. I show that I've served, I've taken the served people. I've asked my property back several different times. I've been ignored. I still has not been restored to me. These are criminals. They're a gang of criminals. They're a gang of bad thugs, but they're worse than the regular gang. If you even harm one of these guys, what happens? I'm not threatening harm. I'm saying if you do, they bring the whole full weight of local, state, and federal law enforcement down your head. That is tyranny. Your rights get violated, you do something about it, and all of a sudden you're a cop killer. And the friggin' I would never do that. Non-violent, non-initiation. Don't initiate force against me, and I have no business with you initiating force. But you know what? That's tyranny, folks. And if somebody gets their rights violated, and they finally stand up to it, which is going to happen eventually. And that person now becomes this domestic terrorist, person, and they're all heroes somehow. Consider that. Food for thought. I talked to the IA already, and I haven't got a phone call back. I have a citation that I was given by a law enforcement officer who fraudulently turned his lights on, declaring an emergency when there was no emergency. He pulled me over, and he also violated my right to due process and took my vehicle without a court of law. Because due process is found in the judiciary, not the executive branch. You guys are the executive. I've had my car taken, seized. IA not called me back, and I am about to pretty much go public with this. Is why I'm calling you the public relations people, and I would like to avoid that. I would just like to get my property back and travel along the way. I'm going to go public with this. I was stopped in Topanga Canyon and Sherman Way. Let me tell you first off, so you know a qualifying factor of this, is that I have a right to travel, okay? And that's a right to travel that is
who am I speaking with?
My name is Charles Burns. Charles Edward Burns IV.
Okay, sir, have you talked to the Topanga Law Commander yet?
I did. I actually served him a paper notifying him of his violation of my right to due process and the fact that he had my property, and he denied me my right to have my property back.
Okay. And what were you cited for?
See, I was cited for two things that are actually fraudulent laws, and this is based on tons of judicial precedent. The fact that I have to register my vehicle, which would make my right to property not a right but a privilege now, and also my right to travel was violated by the fact that you have to have a driver's license. I don't have a driver's license because I exercise my right to travel. I am a traveler.
I'm not here to debate that, sir. So you're cited for expired registration, and
and not having a valid license because I don't have to have a license. But the thing is though, regardless of what you think about the
I'm not here to argue that, sir.
okay,
All right?
well
I'm
I'm
trying to listen to you. I'm gonna
okay.
let
Thank
your
you, thank you,
concerns.
thank you.
All right? So, I'm not going to debate that over the phone, sir.
Okay,
So you talked to the watch commander.
I served him a
And what
paper
the watch
actually.
commander did.
What do you do? Well, in a very smug way, he told me I can't have my car back.
Okay.
His name is Officer Rains, by the way, badge number 3058. See,
I don't know who that is. But
I'm just letting you know for the record. And so I already notified him of the problem. And the thing is,
you said you notified internal affairs, and what was that context of conversation between you and internal affairs?
the internal affairs, the lady, the first person, I called once, I left a message, I got a hold of somebody the second time. I talked to her. She said that I had no actual valid complaint against having my due process violated at the time of the traffic stop. She said she wrote it off like it was no big deal. That's my constitutional right, sir. She wrote it off like it didn't matter.
Okay, so basically they said you had no valid complaint regarding the traffic stop.
Yeah.
Okay, was a complaint taken?
She took note of it, I think, and she also took note of an interaction I notified her of with Captain Rain, or Sergeant Rains, I think, at the Topanga station. And so then I called the second time, and I left a message. I've waited a couple of days to give you guys time. I have not received a phone call back notifying them that I am highly upset that my property...
Can I tell you, I explained to you the process of a complaint investigation if one was taken.
Okay, go ahead.
What happens is when a complaint investigation is taken, it's forwarded to internal affairs. Internal affairs then classifies the investigation as if it's criminal, or if it's administrative, or if it's against policy, or whatever they deem is
Mm-hmm.
complaint about, sir. Okay, so the complaint investigation it can take up to a year.
Well, hold on. There's a problem. Hold on. If I may, please. If I may, please. The problem is here is that you've taken my property. You actually have stolen my property. Well, no, but your department has. I know. I'm not accusing you specifically, sir. I'm sorry about that. I'm not accusing you specifically. But your department has stolen my property, and it's violated my right to due process because we have the right to our property. It can only be deprived or taken with the due process of law. Well, it's not. I know it's because it's actually, sir. It's not.
What's your interpretation of law is completely different
Well,
than mine.
hold on, but no, but that's not the interpretation of the law. That's what the law says. It's the Constitution that says that you can only take property without due process.
It's constitutional law.
Well, so,
I'm
well,
trying to address your concern.
well,
And
okay.
I'm doing the best I can for you.
Let me.
What is it that I can do for you tonight?
Well, if I may, sir, if I may, constitutional law is not an interpretation or debate thing. I'm not trying to debate it with you.
You're talking about constitutional law that is totally irrelevant to certain ordinances in California Vehicle Code, sir.
Constitutional. Can I get you to say that again, please? Constitutional law is irrelevant to California vehicle codes.
I didn't say it's irrelevant. I'm saying what you're basically arguing about the California Vehicle Code law, right?
Huh?
Has nothing compared to you can't compare constitutional law and with California Vehicle Code law.
Yeah. Well, what if that code or law violates the Constitution? What if it violates it though? What if it violates it? Well, I'm basically. Let me tell you the purpose of the call, okay? I think that's what you wanted. The purpose of this call is to notify you that I'm going public with this. I have a very huge.
I have no legal restraint to stop you from it.
I'm not expecting you to. I know you don't. Well, I'm giving you the chance to do. I'm giving you the chance. No. I called the chief of staff, for the public relations, because I wanted to go higher up the food chain. Because I want to let you guys know that I'm about to take this to a point where I'm going to publicly expose this and this fraud. Well, I won't. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'd rather you guys fix the mistake. Yeah, it is. You realize that it's laughable to me that you think that constitutional law is irrelevant to state code and statute when it violates it. Actually, I have you on tape now that you did say that, so it's okay. But you do okay. You're a public official in the course of your duties. I have every right to tape you.
No, you don't. Not over the phone, sir.
Yes, I do. And the wiretap laws were overruled in Boston versus Glick. Yeah, actually, that was overruled. Listen. No, I'm not dictating law. Who dictated the law? My name is Charles Edward Burns IV. You want some more? Edward Burns IV. Now, let me tell you something, sir. Before you continue, don't interrupt me here. Boston versus Glick was not a state, but a federal case that said the wiretap laws do not apply. Listen, I asked you please not to interrupt me. I asked you not to interrupt me.
Okay, I'm not going to repeat this again, okay? You're going around circles. I'm trying to help you with trying to get some kind of answer for you regarding your citation and your vehicle impound, sir. We're here to discuss and argue about constitutional rights and constitutional law over the phone. If you're going to report me without approval and saying you have all this rights, it's debatable.
It's not, but
You right now, it's not allowed to take you over the phone. It is a federal offense, and I will notify the FBI if you continue to do so.
oh, well, go ahead, notify them. But they're going to tell you this. They're going to tell you that the FBI is the one who lost.
What else can I help you with, sir?
But real quick, just so you know the law, I just want to help you out with this because you obviously don't know.
I don't need help, sir.
But Boston versus, please,
So you need to know
please, sir,
what rights you have,
please, sir,
what rights you don't have,
may I, sir, if I may, Boston versus Glick is the federal.
My name is Sergeant Art, E-A-R-K.
Yes,
You are Mr. Charles.
Edward Burns the Fourth.
Your phone number is 805-796-6688.
That's correct. That's correct. Now, please, well, I'd like to make one statement, and I'll give you a minute of your time. Just give me a minute, and I will stop and let you have the rest of your day. Okay? Now, first off, please.
First of all, are you going to answer my question? Are you recording my conversation over the phone? Because now I am recording our conversation over the phone. And you're being
Okay, please listen to me. Listen to me. Boston.
4 p.m.
Okay, yeah, I know. That's fine. I'm recording you right now, and you're gonna be on YouTube right after this too.
And the phone number is 805.
Yeah, that's right.
Mr. Burns, are you aware and acknowledge that you're being audio taped?
Are you aware of Boston versus Glick, where that was overruled in the federal court? Were you aware that was overruled in the federal court? Boston versus Glick. Boston versus Glick, sir.
It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit what happened to the home of the brave. These motherfuckers, they controlling us now, and no one's talking about how they made us modern day slaves. And everybody's just walking around, head in the clouds, and won't awaken to a dead in the grave. By then it's too late, we need to be ready to raise up. Welcome to the end of days.
Everybody is slaves, only some are aware that the government releasing poison in the air. That's the reason I collect so many guns in my lair. I ain't never caught slipping, never underprepared. Yeah, they shade sign on me, they display it proudly. George Bush, the grandson of Aleister Crowley. They want you to believe the lie that the enemy's Saudi. The enemy ain't Saudi, the enemy around me. It's fluoride in the water, but nobody know that. It's also a prominent ingredient in Prozac. For real? How could any government bestow that upon people who believe in political throwback? That's not all that I'm here to present you. I know about the Black Pope and Solomon's Temple. Yeah. About the Vatican assassins and how they will get you, and how they clone Barack Hussein Obama in a test tube.
It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit what happened to the home of the brave. These motherfuckers, they controlling us now, and no one's talking about how they made us modern day slaves. And everybody's just walking around, head in the clouds, and won't awaken to a dead in the grave. By then it's too late, we need to be ready to raise up. Welcome to the end.
Whoever built the pyramids had knowledge of electrical power, and you know that that's the information that they suppress and devour. Who you think the motherfuckers that crashed in the tower? Who you think that made it turn into action an hour? The same ones that invaded your own, the ones that never told you about the skeletons on the moon. Yeah, the ones that poison all the food you consume, the ones that never told you about the Mount Vesuvius tombs. Right? The bird flu is a lie, the swine flu is a lie. Why would that even come as a surprise? Yeah, the polio vaccine made you die. It caused cancer and it cost a lot of people their lives. Do y'all know about Bohemian Grove? How the world leaders sacrificing children in robes? Lucifer is God in the public school system. I suggest you open up your ears and you listen.
It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit what happened to the home of the brave. These motherfuckers, they controlling us now, and no one's talking about how they made us modern day slaves. And everybody's just walking around, head in the clouds, and won't awaken to a dead in the grave. By then it's too late, we need to be ready to raise up. Welcome to the end of days.
The greatest hypnotist on planet Earth is a oblong box in the corner of the room. It is constantly telling us what to believe is real.
If you can persuade them that what they see with their eyes is what there is to see, you got them. Because they'll laugh in the face of an explanation that portrays the bigger picture of what's happening. And they have.